How do you build a group of companies doing £10 million a year, only working 3.5 days a week? How can you fit family, faith, fitness, content creation, staying on top of multiple businesses all in 1 week? The answer I have found over the last 5 years lies in several things, one of which is leverage, second of which is barakah, but the third is mastering time management. And that is what I'd like to talk about in this video today, and share 5 things that I do each and every day that creates the system that allows me to do what I do, which is mind-boggling for most people. So let me give you some context. Each and every single week, I have 3 PT sessions at the gym. I have scripting content, shooting content, reviewing content. We have meetings with my different teams. I have lots of calls booked in to essentially support close to 100 of my business partners across the UK, helping us expand our property business. I have a whole day booked off on Thursdays to spend exclusively with my son. I have 2 slots for Islamic learning and classes. I'm also teaching several live sessions every single week. And lots of family time on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's just to give you a bit of an idea of how much goes on every single week, alhamdulillah. And the 5 things I'm about to share with you are the components that have allowed me to have this time management system that allows me to stay on top of absolutely everything, alhamdulillah. So let's start with number 1, and this is going to surprise you. It's a rule that I have. I don't take any unscheduled calls. Unless you're my mom or my wife, I don't take any calls unless we have put it in the calendar prior. And that is because when in my day-to-day, I'm either in a meeting, in a session, recording, teaching, preparing, taking calls throughout the day is allowing others and other people's agenda to come and disrupt your agenda, your schedule, and your flow. And it doesn't mean I'm ignoring people. It just means that people know that if you want to have a conversation, or if you need something, you send a message. And if you need to have a longer discussion, then we set a specific time to speak. So I'm pretty infamous about that. You can't just call me any time of the day and expect me to respond. The only occasions where I will is if it's my mom calling, my wife calling, or one of my business partners who is in the middle of an actual property deal. And then I know that the thing is most likely time sensitive. So I will interrupt what I'm doing and take the call. Now, that's an important word, interrupt. When we are working, whatever the task is, we must be able to do so without interruptions, because that is what slows us down. That is what distracts us. This is what takes us off track. So that's my rule number 1. And I encourage you to give it a go. Most people, they may need to say something in a few words, but when they call you, it becomes a conversation. Oh, how's this, how's family, how's this going, how's that going? And you can just remove all the small talk and say, just tell me what you need via text. Inshallah, that will save you. Now, obviously, when you're a CEO running multiple businesses, every minute counts. Okay, every minute counts. Even if you're not a CEO running multiple businesses, your time is extremely precious. That is the one thing that we all have, that we don't know how much of it we have, we can't get more of, and we can't trade it with anyone else. It's truly very, very precious. Let's go to number 2 now, inshallah. And number 2 is a practice that I have, which is, instead of doing a to-do list on paper, I calendarize my to-do list. So I will put the tasks that I need to do directly on my calendar. And this allows me to make sure that they get done. Because putting something on paper is only half of the formula. You then have to actually execute it. So when you immediately allocate a time for the execution, you're increasing the chances of getting that list ticked off with way more efficiency. So definitely try this as well. If you have things to do on your to-do list, transfer them onto your calendar at the appropriate time when you want to do that task. Number 3 is quite common practice, which is the practice of time blocking. So blocking off time where you are uninterrupted to do a specific intentional thing. So in my calendar, you will see blocks of time where I'm doing research for my content. There will be blocks of time where I'm reviewing content with my team. There will be blocks of time where I'm at the gym with my PT. There will be blocks of time that nothing can come into, where I am just focusing and doing deep work. There will be blocks of time where I'm with my family. You get the gist. Everything is time blocked. So if I am in a 2-hour time block at the park with my son, nothing else can get booked in there. You want to have a call with me, for example, it will not be during that time. It will be at another time. And this allows me to give full focus to whatever it is that I'm doing. And focus is power. Focus allows you to get things done with much more efficiency, much faster. When you're focused, you can get a task done within minutes. But without the focus, it could potentially even take an hour. So time blocking is very important. So I encourage you to make sure that in your week, you have time blocked off for work, faith, family, and fitness. Very, very important. So faith is going to the mosque the days that you can, attending classes, watching maybe a YouTube lecture with your family, attending a halaqah with friends. There should be time in your calendar for that, inshallah, and that will do something very important. It will bring barakah in the entire week, inshallah. So let's talk about number 4 now. The 4th strategy is allocating tasks based on energy. Energy is a very important variable when it comes to getting things done. It's not just an input of time. The energy is another variable in there. And there's a 3rd variable, by the way, which is the barakah variable, but we'll talk about that in another video, inshallah. So when you're allocating tasks in your day, in your calendar, in your schedule, I always make sure that I'm conscious of how much energy is required and what kind of energy is required. For example, I always do content shoots in the morning, because if we did them in the evening, my energy will be lower and it'll be a lot more difficult for me to think clearly, to speak clearly, and to be animated and engaging. Certain tasks like responding to emails, reviewing videos, brainstorming ideas, they all require different types of energy and different levels of energy. So you want to slot them in based on when is most optimal, inshallah. Now, some of you may have more energy in the morning or more energy in the evening, more energy after lunch. You know your body best. And when you add this layer on top of your productivity, that you are doing tasks not just based on when you have the time, but also when you have the energy, you will see a massive improvement in your productivity, inshallah. Okay, the final one, number 5. This is something you're very unlikely to have heard anywhere else, and I credit this completely to my productivity and high performance coach, Tushar Imdad. I've been working with him for over 2 years now, alhamdulillah. And there is this important concept that I have learned that he has pioneered, and it's called the Mauk Moment. Mabruk meaning congratulations, something that is worth celebrating. So every day I have a Mabruk moment, meaning something that I want to achieve, that I am focused on achieving, and that I will celebrate once I achieve it. Essentially, my biggest priority for the day. It's a nice way to say it, a Mabruk moment, because you want to congratulate yourself once you've achieved it. Every week, there should be a Mabruk moment, meaning something that you want to achieve that week and that you focus on. And once you achieve it, it's made such a positive shift forward in your life, in your business, in your career, in your progress, that it is worth celebrating. Same thing could apply to the month and even the year. So having clarity, what is the most important thing I need to get done today? What is the one thing that if I do it, it would be worth celebrating? And you should celebrate. You know, we have different ways of celebrating. We can say Alhamdulillah, you can do a sajda of shukr. It really needs to be that important and that significant and that emotive, inshallah. So these are 5 strategies that I use every single day, alhamdulillah, that help me, I would say, by the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, achieve, produce, and create more than the average person. Now, using these can help you propel yourself forward. So I'd love to hear which one of these 5 are you going to start using from tomorrow. Barakallah fikum. Until the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.